Right, welcome everybody. We're on the Rooster Trail. If you go back into my other videos back quite a ways back last year, this is going to become a thing I'm going to do every year. It's a three-day ride. As you can see behind me, a lot of camping. This is in the middle. I didn't start from the beginning this year because we had tornado warnings and real bad weather last night. So I wasn't able to get out. And when I tried to get up early this morning to go, it still was terrible. So I decided not to do that. But welcome. DJ Crew 68. Check out my website, www.ecopsychousa.com. Again, every time we get 50 subscribers, make sure you're always commenting, and I'll announce it, but we will be giving away some kind of an accessory. Right now, we're looking at a helmet, and when we hit 1,000 subscribers, we're going to be giving away a kick-ass bike. And again, if you have a bike, give it to someone else. If you don't have a bike, it's a great start bike. It's actually not a starter bike. It's probably a mid-level bike. So let's do that. But today we're back on the Utopia, and the reason is because from here to Shenandoah, which is one leg of the ride, actually it's the end point of the ride, it's roughly from there and back is about 22 miles. The other point going this way, which is from Malvern to this place, which is Imogene, these are the two biggest points. That's about another 10 miles. So I decided to come out of here. I was going to come out, like I said, out of either Silver City or Malvern, but we're going to skip that this year. Because if you go back to the other video, you see a lot more action in those towns than we did in this town. Last year, I stayed the night in this town. This year, my plan is just to go up and check out the band and then go to Shenandoah. So I'm going to take you on that ride. Well, I'm going to show you a little bit around Imogene. It's like a town of 90 people. But the one big claim they have here is this huge church that was built back in the 1800s by this Irish priest who had a lot of money and said, hey, let's go ahead and build this church here. And it brought people here, and the railroad brought people here. And it had something, but as you'll see today when we drive around, there ain't crap. Last year when I came out here, we didn't even have a place to get drinks or anything, which really ticked me off. Again, like I said, you see a bunch of people camping here. Some people are here for 3 days, some are not. Last year I did 2 days. This year I'm only going to do a day and I'm out. But with that said, let's go ahead. We're going to get some really good shots with the camera. I've got my GoPro camera. I've got the 360 camera, or whatever, not 360, but whatever, One Touch, whatever the hell it's called. But with that said, we're going to take this bike out. As you can see, I'm loaded down because you have to be. And I've got 2 batteries and 2 motors. I bought my best bike out for this ride because of the distance and lack of facilities and all that kind of stuff. So with that said, let's continue on. Man, as you can see, they're all full of pothole gravel. They're not maintained at all, which actually surprises me. Okay, and on the left you can see the church, and on the right is where the pastor office is, and at one time they ran a little school out here. This is a beautiful picture, or I mean sculpture. Irish blessings. And basically this was built, like I said, he brought a bunch of Irish people over here to immigrate during the Depression, potato famine or whatever. And that house on the left, I believe, was the pastor's home. But this is the actual church up here. Hi, how's it going? Are they going to have the church open today, or?
Yes, we'll be 5 o'clock the mass. Yes.
5 o'clock?
Yes, sir.
Cool, thank you. Because I was out here last year and I didn't get to get in. That's cool. I'll make sure to be here for that. As you can see, very nice church. And here it is, St. Patrick's Academy. So actually this was the academy, which is a house. That never makes sense to me. Now you can see there's some add-ons, but that's just a small add-on. This whole thing has been here forever. There was a sign. Let me see here. There was a sign originally Oh, here it is. And this is about the Why Heritage and Garden and Rosary Walk, so you can pause that and read that on your own. So go ahead and pause that and you can read all about it. But there was actually, and then all these bricks are donated bricks, just like you've seen in other places. But look, it starts here, 1880, 1892, 1915, and then it kind of dies off. This town pretty much started dying right around 1915, 1920. Once the railroad shut down off this, which is what we're on, the Wabash Trace, a lot of things started to suffer. Now, there was a big sign about the father here, and I don't know what happened to it. I'll have to ask those guys. But yeah, this here was a building. I'm assuming this wasn't built the exact same time, but no signage. But I do know this housed nuns and things like that. Now, there's a house over here. I stayed at that house last year. They call it the King's Cottage. It houses about 8 people, and I was alone. And I told people down that I had met at the campsite, that some of them I actually knew. I said, just come on up here and stay with me, man. I already paid for it. Because it was kind of lonely. But they got a nice pathway in the back there. And it does look like someone rented it again this year, but it looks like one person again. But I know when I was out here last year, there was not a ton of people that live here. And like I said, the local bar had barely reopened and they weren't serving food or anything. So it was really kind of a stressor, and I was starving. So, because I didn't want to go to Shenandoah. I didn't want to do any more. And I ended up doing it just because. With that said, let's go ahead and pause it right here and get into where the music's going to start. I don't know if they're going to start. They're supposed to start at 3:30. Obviously, for licensing reasons and things, I can't really sit there and show it all. But I just kind of want to show you what's going on there before we start the major trip. And of course, you can look through my helmet to see the town. Again, you can see just a few sparse houses. And you can see, it's right here, man. This house, I kept looking when I stayed here. I don't think anyone's here. It's cut and everything now, so maybe someone's moved in, but last year it wasn't. Then again, look at the gutters. There's freaking weeds in the gutters, so I don't know. But then you come over here and look at this house. A brand new home. Now, of course, I understand that someone has some money. You can build a house out here that's like worth $500,000 in the city, and you probably want to pay $200,000 here. But I was looking at that last year, and I was like, came through here, and there was literally nobody home. It was a Saturday night, of course, and being this small town, I guess no one would be home, but I figured like that house, and there's someone there this time. And this is a really pretty house right here, this blue house. It's old, but they've fixed it up and maintained it. Now, believe it or not, look at that. Reclaimed by the weeds, or the woods, as Joe and Nick would say off his channel. But a lot of times, when you think it's reclaimed, there are people actually living there, which is kind of sad. Here's another house that looks like it's been redone, and then there's a house behind it. So, again, a lot of times they have the old house, and then they get money and just put the new house in front of it, and don't tear down the old house. I can't really tell. But we're going to go down into Main Street here and check it out. This is the bar I was talking about. They reopened last year. Had beer last year, but had no food license. And you can see all the people on their bikes here. This is basically it. I mean, there was nothing. Nice big emerald shamrock here. A couple old buildings. I think they actually still have the bank building here. But really, the only thing operating is this Imogene Ag. So we're just going to take a ride here. I'm going to turn off the camera on my helmet here in a minute, but this is where they're going to be doing the music. It should be starting real soon, so I'm only going to stay for a little bit because I want to make the ride to Imogene, or I'm sorry, to Shenandoah and back here. And that's going to take me probably like, I don't know, 2.5, 3 hours. Okay, as you can see, this is the stage in Imogene. Quite impressive stage for a town of like 7 buildings. And the band's getting ready to start. So we can't really film much because, as you know, it's going to be a copyright. So we can't film too much of it. But I wanted to show you it. But I also want to show you, look at above here. Look at these clouds. This is what I was talking about earlier in the beginning of the video about why I didn't come out on Friday or Saturday this morning. It's Saturday now, but I didn't come out in the morning. I didn't get out here till 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But hopefully they start and play a song here so we can just get a little bit of beats. Hopefully they'll start singing a song here so we can get this on and go. Because I want to get going. I'm already sweating my behind off. I'm totally soaked. Alright, so it looks like we're finally getting ready to start, but they're doing sound checks still.
Hey, good
And
afternoon,
they have no
everybody.
drums.
You need me that loud over there, guys? Really? Okay, we're adjusting a few things here.
Okay, they better hurry and adjust because I gotta get going.
Oh, there's some more of you. Anyway, we are $2 Pistols. We're sure happy to see y'all here in Imogene, Iowa. And there'll be a quiz later on. You're going to have to tell me where you're all from. All right? We're going to do the name game here.
Okay, we'll get about 5 seconds of this.
Well, we got married in a fever, higher than a pepper sprout. We've been talking about Jackson ever since the fire went out. Yeah, I'm going to Jackson. I'm gonna mess around.
We'll go on down to Jackson. Go ahead and rock your head. Go play your hand, you big talking man. Make a big fool.
Okay, so we're gonna have a lot of recording hopefully. The last time I used my GoPro out here, it completely died, and I didn't know it. And it wasn't the battery that was dead. The other thing is, we're on turbo on this bike today, and I don't feel like it's turbo. Anyways, pulling past the ag silos. Joe and Nick always talks about that stuff, but he doesn't know a lot about the silos. Basically, it's where they store your wheat, corn, whatever, and then the trucks come by, and then they fill them. And there's like a weigh station or whatever. Now, I've only been on this part of the trail one time. So this is actually, if you haven't seen my other video from Rooster, this is the only other time you've seen this trail because I normally don't ride it. It's a very long and kind of boring trail. But it empties into the biggest city that they have. But I'm going to try to get some really good shot if I can. time I learned how to make this stupid camera follow me. But, and if you look at my last videos, I had a temporary, and just like always my life, it wouldn't tie on. I literally bought it just for some follow shots, some ride shots. Because I was getting complaint, video's too crappy. You're not showing, you don't talk enough. You talk too much. There's no sound. It's always something. I'd rather go ahead and be a troll as long as you subscribe and call me every day from the book and make fun of everything I do. I don't care. Because if you subscribe, I got a subscriber. Yeah, this video take a lot of editing. Currently, I'm using Power Director. I tried CapCut, which a lot of people use CapCut. I switched from Power Director to CapCut, and I liked it for like 2 videos, and then I kind of like, don't quite like it. Maybe because I just don't know it well enough, and it also seems more expensive. You need to work on the trail at the end because nobody's working on it. Last time I was on it, there was a big tree. And you need to open up the railroad depot. Shenandoah's got a railroad depot, probably the biggest one. Never opened. It's got a grant. It's preserved, but it doesn't look like they did any work on it. Kind of pisses me off. you. Thank you. Well, how that corn right up into the freaking barn. Last made sense out here last. Last year I saw like the hammock tents and everything. And I guarantee you a lot of you like that fat boy over there. He ain't right. Just out here to enjoy the camping time. Yes. Yeah, camping, showers, everything. Oh, they got the pool open. Wow. That's a first. It's a nice pool, man. Okay. They actually opened the pool up. Huh? That's awesome. I guess last year it must have been under maintenance. All right, so here we are. We're pretty much at the end point for this part. We're going to go in and get some food. But look, here's the depot that I told you. And look, it's gotten even worse. Worse. Look at it. Can't even put a fucking coat of paint on it. Excuse my language. That's pretty sad. And they got these kiosk things. Again, Rebecca on the Wabash Trace. Why are these electric things not working? You have like 2 or 3 along the kiosk or along the trace. And I know you're not responsible for everything, but find out why these aren't working. And get someone in Shenandoah to actually spend money to fix this building. I mean, if you don't want to use it, which you could make it an Airbnb, literally cut it up and probably... All right, so we've arrived at the depot. This actually was a rail station as well back in the day. I forget which one it was for. It might have been Burlington. You saw the original, but this was a secondary one. And what we're standing in right here, this cement area, was actually where the railheads came in. This is the end of the Rooster Tail. Now, it's not the end of the Wabash Trace. The Wabash Trace goes on to Blanchard, Coyne. It's got basically about another 20 miles. But we're not doing that today. We're going to finish here in Shenandoah. And we're going to head back and I'm going to take some more shots on the way back using this camera. But this is the end. And they'll have a concert here tonight. And actually a pretty good band. But originally I was going to stay here, but after that storm and stuff, that I changed all my original plans. I decided not to stay, so I canceled it, and I'm just going to ride back. I found another trail coming out today in Glenwood, Iowa, that I'm going to try to see if I can get back, not to ride it today, but to find out where it actually starts, what it's about, because it's not listed on my trail link. But as you can see over here, these people are set up for the concert tonight. And as you can see, there's my bike. One of the few times I actually lock it up. I'm terrible at locking the bike up. But we're going to go ahead and get some food, have a little lunch, and then head back. Okay, so we got our lunch, just a brat. They have really good meals here, but I just didn't want to sit and wait, so I just picked up this brat. And got a beer and some water. It's $9, plus I gave them a $2 tip because they got to work out here. But as you can see, it's just an outside area. And there's where the band will be. Yeah, so it should be a good night. I'm just not going to end up staying here because I got other things I want to do. All right, so we're pretty much done here. Met some really nice people, and we're gonna head on back. I'm gonna ride through the main drag here to show you some things of this small town of Shenandoah. Now, when we say Shenandoah, this town has about, I think it's like 8,000 people. And you can see they're all coming in now to ride. This is the Everly Brothers house. It was brought here, but this is their childhood home for those of you that like old-timey rock. In my last video, I actually do an inside tour. It's not open today. Normally they're playing Everly Brothers music, and it's pretty cool, but this is their childhood home. It was not here. This was brought in from the sticks. But we can look at it over here. And let's look at this over here real quick. There you can see the sign. You can read it for yourselves. I'm not going to spend the time doing that, but so now we're going to go down kind of, it's not their main street, but it's like their old downtown. And we'll just go down here and then head back. As you can see, the Historical Museum, have the Dollar General. And you can see a lot of nice old buildings here. This is, like I said, this is their old downtown. Here's the theater. One of those few times you see an actual theater from the, early 1900s that's actually still open and actually showing movies that are modern. So pretty cool. So we kind of look at here. Most everything here is, Edward Jones Investments, Farm Bureau. Big time. Farm Bureau is big out here, all the farmers. But just a nice little downtown. Again, this is probably the original downtown. And there's literally like 3 blocks of it here, but I'm only going down this one. As we head back. Again, please like and comment and ring the bell. Help me out. Share this video. I'm trying to get as much footage for you guys as I can, but obviously it's not as good as I'd like it to have been because, is what it is. But look, all these dress shops, everything over here. Everything just pretty much got some kind of business in it, which is kind of nice. But for a Saturday, which is like, 3 o'clock right now, not much going on. Here's the City Hall building. And of course, you do have a Casey's. That's pretty cool. Okay, so let's head back to the trail. All right, so here we see the river. And this is the bridge that we went over twice now, but I never took any pictures of the actual river. and we're talking to some other people, and there's actually a looks like a tent over here, but it's like not popped up or anything. It's just like, it looks like it's got the middle pole and that's it. But I was told that they actually do some kayaking and stuff here, which would be cool. So it should be pretty nice though. Pretty nice stuff. So we're gonna head back on the bike and get going.
Oh, there they go.
All right, so we're gonna be booking out of here off the bridge. I did a couple still shots and a couple shots and wanted to show you guys the water and shit, how full it is here, because I've shown it, if you look at my other videos, much lower. But we're super duper here. And I was talking to a guy and this lady, and to be honest, the guy looked pretty fit and everything. I was thinking he's probably like 40, and the lady he's with looks like she's 60, and she's drunk as hell. And she's like, yeah, I'm gonna stay for the band. I'm like, well, I hope you're not riding back. I mean, I didn't bring my big light. I have just the regular light on this bike. I didn't bring the big light because I knew I wasn't coming out at night. If I was gonna come out at night, I would have brought my big headlight. And I've got a coat now that has LEDs, so I just light up the world when I'm riding. I want to put this LED kit on my bike, but I don't know. I'm not trying to be a fool all the time. But yeah, so now we're off that bridge, we're riding back. Most people are stopping at the bridge because first of all, it's cool, but also because they're tired, they're drunk. And a lot of them did start from Mineola or Silver City, so they've already rode, by the time they've hit that bridge, they've already rode close to the 30-mile mark. Actually, probably about 26 miles, but so they're tired. But a lot of them, it seems like a lot of people aren't like me, where you have to ride from point A to point B. I was at that depot back there where I ate, and I saw this last year, a guy with his pickup truck loading up 4 bikes. So they get there and they just load the bikes up, party all night. So again, because the average, I think, start time, if I recall correctly, is like 7 or 8 in the morning. And they don't even start the band there until like 7 o'clock at night. All right, we'll get a little bit more of the front facing on this trail, and then we're gonna end this video. As always, like I said, sorry for the shakiness, but I want to do all my cameras. And like I said, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and yes, ring the bell. Yes, you'll get notified. If you don't like notifications, turn them off. But to be honest, that'll help get my YouTube on the algorithm so people can see it. You know, everyone has their niche. Like I was saying earlier, the guy that opens and unbox videos and does a little ride, or the guy that just gets a new bike free from companies, because for some reason, even though they've only got 5,000 subscribers, they get free bikes, and they do a test ride on the bike. My videos tend to talk about bikes here and there, talk about different issues on bikes, because I do repairs and I know what the hell's needed. And I sell bikes, but I wanted to do more about the trails themselves for you guys. So if you ever are in this area, you know what trails are really cool. Or even if you're not in this area, you can just watch an old fat guy and go, oh, if he can do it, I can do it. I'm actually surprised how much of this battery is burnt down. I should be able to go a lot farther than this. But I have had it on turbo the whole time. I'm not worried about making it back, it's just it'll be like 30 miles. Hey, it'll be like 30 miles total. Or no, probably 24 miles to be honest. Maybe with all the extra riding, I don't know. But again, to use half your battery, that's not cool. And this is, I got 2 batteries on here. So, and I was telling my supplier, and he's like, what are you talking about the battery? Well, this bike is a year old. And it has probably, I don't know, I don't think it has more than 600 miles on it even. But batteries are the biggest things. Hi. Batteries are the biggest things in dealing with e-bikes, besides repairs, obviously, because when your battery goes, it's hard as hell to get a new battery. Unless that company's still in business, because half the time, even the companies in business, they don't have a fucking battery. You know? And if they do, your battery cost is going to be anywhere from $289 to $400. Which I don't like. Did you see that? I don't know if you guys caught that. That's a tandem bike. Not e-bike, but it was a 2-person bike. That's just about as good as an e-bike. Here comes an e-bike, I think, because this guy's hauling ass. And loaded down too. Got the freaking saddlebags on the front. I've never done that. I've had a front bag, 2 front bags, saddlebags, a top saddlebag, and then a cooler on there. But no, I have not seen that. That's pretty cool. I do like riding during this Rooster Tail because it's the only time I really see a lot of people. Because I've rode this trail, and you can watch a lot of my videos where I've literally broke down this trail in 5 parts. And you're lucky to see 1, 2, 3 people. Hi. And so today it's like really crazy to see as many people as I do, because I'm not used to that. Most of the time I ride a trail, I'm lucky if I see 1 person. Okay, we're taking a quick pause here. Okay, today we rode from Imogene to Shenandoah, had a little food, looked a little bit around the city of Shenandoah, just a little bit. Obviously there was like 3 more streets that could be considered the downtown, and then there's a new downtown. That is the biggest city on the Trace, at about 8,000 to 12,000 people. I have to look it up. And we're finished back in Imogene, which we saw at the beginning of the video. Literally has 3 buildings, an ag silo, and probably 10 houses. We're at the campsite, and the people are here. I don't know any of them, which is weird, because I only started this last year, but I kind of had met some people last year, but not this year. So we're gonna wrap it up. I hope you enjoyed the video. As you can see, it's already dark. Of course, it was dark when we started, but that was clouds. Now it's just getting darker. It's dusk. Basically rode 22 miles. And I did remember all the cameras. Let's just hope the audio is recording this time. All right, peace, love.